Committee constituted by Union Ministry of Home Affairs to recommend measures for withdrawal of Armed Forces Special Powers Act from Nagaland misses the deadline for submission of its report due on February 9. Committee formed constituted in December 2021 was supposed to submit its report of recommendation within 45 days. NSCN-IM hits out at former Nagaland Chief Minister Dr. S.C. Jamir for his recent remarks regarding political meaning of the framework agreement. Further questions, what is sovereignty when there is no integration of other Nagas outside Nagaland state are left out. National Human Rights Commission issues 8-week ultimatum to the Director General of Prison in Kohima, Nagaland to take appropriate action on the condition of inmates lodged at Dimapur sub-jail. Direction issued following complaint filed about improper healthcare, poor diet and drinking water to inmates by jail authorities. Nagaland government to review Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act 1989. The state government reportedly deliberating to partially lift restrictions of the Nltv Act from the state by tabling a proposal at the upcoming Assembly budget session. Voting for the fourth phase of Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections ends, which sealed fate of 59 Assembly constituencies and 624 candidates. The state witnessed 57.45% of voters turn out till 5 p.m. in polls spread across 9 districts. Hello and welcome to Nagaland TV English Prime Time. I am Chiben Kung. Let's look at the stories in detail. In pursuance of December 4th and 5th killing of civilians by the security forces in Nagaland's Mon district, an MHA Committee for Withdrawal of Armed Forces Special Powers Act from Nagaland, which was constituted in December 2021, was supposed to submit its report of recommendations within 45 days. However, the Ministry of Home Affairs Committee constituted to recommend measures for withdrawal of AFSPA from Nagaland has missed the deadline for submission of its report, which was due on February 9th. Nagaland Chief Minister Manipur had earlier claimed that the committee needed to submit its report of recommendation within 45 days by February 9. However, according to reports, it has accessed the amateur order stating that the committee is to make suitable recommendation within 3 months, March 26. NPF leader T.R. Ziliang also informed that the committee has sought an extension for 3 months. There has been rising demand for withdrawal of AFSPA from Nagaland and the entire Northeast as a whole. The rising demand for withdrawal of AFSPA from Nagaland compelled the Centre to constitute a committee to make recommendation. The NSCN-IM on Tuesday hit out at former Nagaland Chief Minister and veteran political leader Dr. S.C. Jamir for his recent treatise, stating that it exposed his dogmatic political mentality as he feigned ignorance of the political meaning of the Framework Agreement of August 3, 2015, to find ground for defending the 16-point agreement. In a press release issued through its MIP, the NSCN-IM said the Framework Agreement clearly mentions sharing the sovereign power and enduring inclusive new relationship of peaceful coexistence of the two entities. This, it claims, emphasized the integration is an integral part of the Framework Agreement. Furthermore, the NSCN-IM also questioned the sovereignty of the Nagas without integration. Moreover, the NSCN-IM also accused convener of the Naga national political groups and Kidovi Jimomi of trying to propel his image as a bona fide Naga revolutionary. It said that Kidovi, who sided with Kaplang when the NSCN split in 1988, was bereft of any revolutionary trait as demanded by the call of the Naga political struggle, and was never found fighting for the righteous cause of the Naga political issue. The Nagaland government is determined to review Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act 1989. According to latest information, state government is deliberating to partially lift restrictions of the Nltv Act from the state. Meanwhile, it was reported that the government would review the Liquor Act by tabling a proposal at the upcoming Assembly budget session in March. Moreover, a crucial joint consultation is scheduled on February 24 with the Nagaland civil society organizations, including the influential tribal bodies, churches and student organizations. In the list of invitees are 16 organizations: Nagaland Baptist Church Council, Naga Hoho Eastern Nagaland People's Organization, Naga Students Federation, Central Nagaland Tribes Council, Naga Mothers Association, Angami Public Organization, besides others. However, the Nagaland Baptist Church Council on Tuesday asserted its conviction on the government's inclination towards partially lifting the Nltv Act. The council reiterated that the state government should resolute to implement the Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act 1989 instead of indulging in backdoor lobbying to have the act partially lifted. The council further stated that if the act was lifted partially, it will be a disastrous move and that there will be more corruption and less accountability. The NBCC also suggested that the state government should give a detailed description of the entry points and how the snake inside the state, along with identifying the modus operandi, the nexus and the manufacturing spots or locations within the state. With news of Nagaland government considering partial lifting of Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act 1989 doing rounds, Nltv approached Dimapur-based civil societies and discussed the matter. Naga Council Dimapur President E. Kikon iterated that Nagaland government must have a strong stance on whether to implement or scrap the Nltv Act 1989. Kikon stated that if the government is serious on implementation of the act, they must rope in civil societies, including the churches, and impose a strict ban on sale and consumption of liquor in the state. NCD President further mentioned that if the government is not confident of successful implementation of the act, they must scrap the act completely and not partially. NCD President went on to say that despite the act being enforced in Nagaland for many years, there is free flow of liquor.
Ido inaga khobor honi thake ido amigal naga opinion de naga ase ido to ek ase government do strictly implement koribo lage jodi government pura implement koribo na pare ido half negana full lift korigana koribo lage to ido strictly implement kora dande civil society hobi NGO hobi aro church mainly church kando ki laga area de tagan pura ido church kan pura ido implement koribo pare assignment digana koribo lage to amega laga na council laga opinion amega naga bhavna to koribo gole government pura koribo na pare le civil society church le go pai nai to half noigana full lift koribo lage half lift to half korigana idea full ban ase olebe Nagaland full ase half korile idea to full bora do upor hoye jabo to dogane half noigana implement korob gole strictly implement koribe nokrob gole lift koribe ido na council be strictly implement korigana trouble lage aro civil society hobi NGO hobi church hobi tagan be assignment digana koribo dibo lage khali government tagan nagana tagan be assignment digana koribo dibo lage leave korile half nagana totally leave koribo lage kile mane idya totally ban ase olebi whole Nagaland ase to bojor holebi sam hole din holebi thagiyana sob khai ase to ido karone lift korile total lift koribo lage atati nagana.
The National Human Rights Commission on Wednesday issued an 8-week ultimatum to the Director General of Prison in Kohima, Nagaland to take appropriate action on the condition of inmates lodged at Dimapur sub-jail. Notably, the direction was issued following a case filed by Saidur Rahman, a human rights defender of Dimapur, before the National Human Rights Commission regarding various irregularities of Dimapur sub-jail, especially the pathetic condition of the inmates' food and drinking water condition. It may be mentioned that Rahman had complained to the NHRC about negligence in providing proper health care facilities, diets and drinking water to the inmates of Dimapur sub-jail by the jail authorities. Nagaland is all geared up for its upcoming General Assembly elections in 2023. Meanwhile, Nltv went to take ground report on the opinion of its denizens on the present coalition government of Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party and Party Agenda Party formed the state government, with Nifurio as its chief minister. Notably, the poll created two sides. Certain sections of the public were seemingly satisfied with the present UDA government, while some were unhappy with the government. Some citizens were of the opinion that the present government should carry out proper developmental works and bring about major improvement in the society. Let's have a look.
Welcome to Nagaland TV. Ajum amian aina thake to yete rail gate yeta aina ase.
Government eta government ja ruling government do ta to tebelem ki to palte ase ta to public karni to la moto to kori ase phal kam kori ase ta to mane
apni bhi ekta command man ase tini apni bhi government to kinika la lage
eta to government to thik hi ase ta to eta ta ami karni to eku noy ami party bhi noy sida sida ko bole bhi phale ase ta to eto ami khan laga ami to toma boban laga ase toma boban laga moi bhi ta kiba ase to ami bhi ta ki bhi ase bole bhi to ta de kile town koribo eta ami khan toma boban to bhi to ase to eta to phal kam kore ase ta pia to noy phal he kam kore ase ta ta
এতিয়া তো অলপ চেঞ্জেস অলপ ভাল আছে এতিয়া তো গভর্নমেন্ট অলপ ভাল যায় আছে চেঞ্জেস তো বেশি হয়ে আছে ভাল লিডার তো ভালই থাকিব লাগে
মহিলা ভাবনা তো একটা সাইড তো ভাল নিচিনা একটা সাইড তো ভাল নহা নিচিনা এইটোৱে এনেকাই দেখি আছে Leader to kina ko na leader ko do ekta ifali kina ko bo ekta sai he na sai gena sob equal hobo lage.
In my opinion, the government has not done much in this past year, but I hope in this coming election or in this next session, I hope they will bring up with new changes and new development for this society.
Ini moila point of view dido ini bhalbi korise holibi ekta side tv ini negative point pe ase to pia sibi kobo na paribo to ini aha sal de aro takan bra ki promise korina ase ito kurina chai dili to aro public la interest to ken koribole try koribi etu ase
moila public ase
hai ha
concerned citizen of Nagaland apni bhi ekta leader to kinka leader thiko lage
leader to huishiguli to ini etu to explain korishili to bishi deep jai siguli to ami kan bi nobuchibo na to ini kondo wala in charge ase kondo wala top te ase tai kan bra ini chundo ki kam koriboli tigina ase etu kan olop initiate korina etu kan ini survey korina ina korishiguli to public bi tok no pabo ar as well as takan bi public laga demands kan itu kan itu lade iko tok na pai kinai takan bi jabo aki jabo paribo
minister kan like bisi bal kan bi kori dise aro nakura kan bi bisi ase eta tak bena like makhala road condition kan do sai chabe like ite town de to town ase ole busti fale to like bisi bi ase to road condition to like a lot to repairing kan bi like bisi bal matlab kuri dile to kumba state kan to gari kan bi jaw na pare na manu kan bi like bisi duk pai na ase moi kan to kuno ole bi busti de daga kan like moi kan la baba ma kan bura baba kan na grandfathers, grandmothers kan to bishi duk pa ase. Moi kan to rasta bia holi bi we can manage. Holi bi go bia kan help bal na thaka kan to rasta bia te aro like ambulance kan bi jaw na pare pungchu na pare na. Aro primary health center like moi kan la PHC kan saile to tate bi kumba jaga te tu na pungcha jaga kan bi ase na. To hoi tate khali saile to balobo.
Owing to lack of civic sense amongst Dimapur public, the city is seen littered and put into bad light due to poor hygiene, and hence multiple complaints have been raised by conscious citizens of Dimapur. Based on the issue, Nagaland on Wednesday went for reporting in and around the city. During the survey, certain irresponsible people were found littering and urinating nearby railway station and below flyover areas. Very less people or passers-by were found concerned about the place they live in. It is astonishing to find a lack of civic sense about proper hygiene and responsibility among the citizens of Nagaland's commercial hub. Let's see.
Welcome to Nagaland TV. Aji amian aina thake to yete rail gate yeta aina ase flyover to bhuya ase icha aro fly amian aji yeta tu bishi din amian itula complain yu pase itu yete aro amian ni dikhe aro jene itu manuhan pisap kura rasta de to aji aina amian visuals khan apni hanke dekhai dise itu manuhan kinga yete open bahar de rasta te itu wall khan de aro itu flyover la niche de auto stand de tadi side te inega man letra jaga ase to kote manuhan up down kore itu main auto stand ase tate bi manuhan aina buhi tate berauli buhiuli diktar ase ekdom kila mane gon tu pisap la ase tate toilet bi bunai na ase uli bi cholai aro bishi fane no cholai ne bahar di kore itu side te to ete aji amian iru janul thake amian manuhan ge janai dibolo mon jai thake to inega nukuru gune janai dese kila mane sapa thake jaga bi letra ho jasa amian ete alag Better Dimapur, amiana DMC and Luita Mila in it to Inega Jaga and Bish and BD5 good as will be Kumba Jaga mostly sub Jagatani Kurona Prodone, eating up Jagahan Bachinas will be to Hanbi Montan, Aina Kurni, Limanbi, Saparaku Paro, and Janai Desa, concerned authorities can you Janai Desa, Amian to trust Baharla cities can towns can is night, toilet Kaniman night, yet they will get Nichu, I mean the Katok to Janatok to Ektase, to toilet to Aro Agirijan NSC Ektase to all of public convenience karne aro all of bunai dile kiman bhal aro manuhan bi nocholai ne thake anu chola shuru ni ki niga bi bhavna ekta ase kila mane nokurai ge de amian bi just to corona problem kuri saine itu bishe debi mohana itu thik jase thik jana itu bi janabo pare itu ne itu bi kuine janai de ase aro etela public khan ki janai de ase itu to nukuru bi kune niga rasta ande pisap khan to nukuru kune itu bhal nai Beraule, itu bi duk pai je, gon bisi thake aro sapa nai gune janai dese, hygiene garni bhal nai amian garni don janai dese itu khobor loina apni hanki aji itu janai dese, awareness sikta dese. To inga khobor aro alag khobor garna apni sai thakbi Nagaland TV, moi aramachi mute camera person cho Chinglung for Nltv.
A 50-bedded COVID-19 hospital is all set to be inaugurated on 28 February 2022 at Dimapur District Hospital. It has been informed that Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Nagaland as Pangnupom has consented to be the special guest during the inaugural program. The program shall commence at 10 a.m. in the hospital premise. The inauguration of Tsiminu District Headquarters is all set to take place on Thursday at 11 a.m. Notably, the monolith shall be unveiled by Chief Minister Nipirio as the special guest, while Nagaland's Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services and Women Development Advisor R. King will be the host. It is to be mentioned that the program will take place at Rengma Sports Association ground at Tsiminu. The much-awaited moment of the people of Tsiminu will also witness an inaugural parade followed by celebratory music and fireworks. Dimapur Police Special Operation Team on Tuesday arrested 2 persons in connection with arms trafficking. Notably, the Special Operation Team conducted an operation on Tuesday and apprehended 2 males aged 31 years and 38 years respectively from Kurabadi area outside Amar Mill at around 12:30 p.m. Following the arrest, the police recovered 1 country-made .32 pistol along with 1 magazine and 2 smartphones from the suspects. It is to be mentioned that the persons are currently in the police custody for further investigation. The Taekwondo Association of Bungro held its Belt Declaration Calm Equipment dedication on Wednesday at public ground of Bungro. Notably, the chief instructor Jureka Francis Yimkyung declared the belt to the students and further conveyed gratitude to the Nagaland Taekwondo Association Kohima for providing them with the equipment. It may be mentioned that there are a total of 3 female students and 15 male students who achieved the belts. The chief instructor further encouraged the school students to join Taekwondo for physical growth and mental development, which shall also be helpful in their academics. An enforcement drive on sale of tobacco products within 100 yards of educational institutions was conducted on Wednesday at Mon by the enforcement team consisting of the members from Administration Excise Department, Police Department, Mon Town Council and Konyak Students Union, Mon. It is to be mentioned that a total of 7 shops were penalized for selling tobacco products near educational institutions. Furthermore, the team seized the products and later destroyed it on the outskirts of the town. The Nagaland State Disaster Management Authority, Home Department, in coordination with Regional Meteorological Center Kohari, issues weather updates for the coming days. Notably, many places like Kohima, Kifiri, Pek and Zinuburo has enjoyed snowfall in the recent times. The weather across Nagaland is expected to have patchy rainfall as on 21st of February 2022, which shall clear up starting from the 22nd of Feb 2022. Meanwhile, some parts of the district, such as in Kohima, is expected to hit minimum temperature of 0 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 11 degrees Celsius. Pek is expected to have a minimum and a maximum temperature of 0 degree and 12 degrees, and respectively, Zinuburo is expected to have a maximum and minimum temperature of 0 degree and 18 degrees C, respectively. Kifri is expected to have minimum and maximum temperature of 0 degree and 14 degree, respectively, and Tionsang is expected to have a maximum and minimum temperature of 16 degree and 2 degrees Celsius, respectively. Furthermore, through this press release, NSDMA and Home Department urged the public to be vigilant and not to shelter under large trees or near the river banks to prevent unnecessary risk from lightning and flash floods. Nagaland is all prepared for the much-awaited South Asian Athletic Federation Cross Country Championship and the 56th National Cross Country Athletics Championship, which is scheduled to be held on March 26. Associate Vice President of Athletics Federation of India, Abu Mehta, took down the Twitter on Tuesday to showcase the official mascot named Akimji for the championships. Mehta further mentioned that the mascot represented a joyous, happy running hornbill. Notably, the word Akimji means a connotation of the word ambition, as the event exemplifies the ambition of the new generation of Naga youth. The Nagaland State Handloom Expo was organized at Town Hall, Zinnaburo on Tuesday. Deputy Commissioner of Zinnaburo, Peter Lichamo, inaugurated the expo in the presence of Managing Director of Nagaland Handloom and Handicrafts Development Corporation, Zakapo V. Rotoka. Notably, the expo was organized by NHHDC Dimapur, Nagaland and sponsored by the Office of Development Commission Handloom under the Ministry of Textiles, Government of India. It is worth mentioning that the 14-day expo consists of 60 weavers from Manipur, Assam, West Bengal and Nagaland, and they are set to exhibit various handloom products. On his maiden pole visit to Manipur, Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Wednesday said that the focus of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government at the centre is to take the state on the path of innovation, infrastructure and integration. While addressing a rally in Churachandpur, Shah, slamming previous governments in the state, said the state was marred with militancy, corruption and internal fighting within the party during the dark days of the Congress government. Under the leadership of incumbent Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, Manipur has seen a stable government in the last 5 years. During his speech, Shah said that a sports university has been approved by the Narendra Modi government and 16 Khelo India centers across all 16 districts in Manipur shall be built. In addition, Shah also said that the demand for inner line permit has also been fulfilled by the Narendra Modi government. The Union Home Minister is on a day-long visit to the north-eastern state of Manipur, which goes to polls on February 28 and March 5.
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने पूरे पूर्वोत्तर के विकास के साथ साथ मणिपुर के विकास को भी प्राथमिकता देने का काम किया। पूर्वोत्तर का सबसे ज्यादा प्रवास करने वाले अगर कोई प्रधानमंत्री है, जिन्होंने पूर्वोत्तर में प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद नॉर्थ ईस्ट के 40 से ज्यादा प्रवास किए हैं, ऐसे हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी हैं। बीरेन सिंह ने मणिपुर को बंद के रास्ते से हटाकर शांति और विकास के रास्ते पर ले जाने का काम किया है। बीरेन सिंह फुटबॉल के खिलाड़ी रहे हैं, वो गोल करना भी जानते हैं और गोल बचाना भी जानते हैं। बीरेन सिंह जी ने
Voting for the fourth phase of the Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections and with counting slated on March 10. During the fourth phase, voter turnout till 5 p.m. was 57.45%, with Lakhimpur Kheri recording highest turnout at 62.42%, followed by Bilpit 61.33% and Raebareli at 58.40%. Earlier, polling for the fourth phase of Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections commenced in 59 constituencies at 7 a.m. on Wednesday. The state is witnessing a multi-cornered contest with Bharatiya Janata Party, Samajwadi Party, Rashtriya Lok Dal Alliance, Bahujan Samaj Party and Congress as principal contenders. Surveys are underway to demarcate the interstate Assam-Meghalaya border. This was informed by Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma. Meghalaya CM Conrad Sangma further informed that he and his Assam counterpart, Himanta Biswa Sarma, are awaiting a call from the centre to finalize the border agreement related to 6 areas of difference. Meanwhile, on January 20, Assam and Meghalaya Chief Ministers submitted recommendation to the Regional Committee on Border Dispute to Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Moreover, 6 out of 12 areas of difference have been taken up for resolution in the first phase to bring an end to decade-long Assam-Meghalaya border disputes. Notably, the areas of differences to be taken up for final settlement in the first phase are Hami, Gizang, Darabari, Boklabara, Kanabara, Bilingada and Radachira. The National People's Party coalition with the BJP in Manipur has been very challenging, stated the party president and Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma on Monday. Furthermore, the Chief Minister Sangma said that the question of ally with the Saffron Party again will depend on the numbers Notably, the BJP and the NPP have been partners in the government in Manipur and Meghalaya. But in the run-up to the Manipur polls, they have directed numerous salvos at each other and claimed that their party will form the government individually when the state votes in two phases on February 28 and March 5. While the BJP has fielded candidates in all 60 seats, the NPP is fighting in 38 seats. Meanwhile, Sangma, who was in Manipur Hill district of Ukhrul Monday as part of the NPP's campaign, also talked about the need to repeal the Armed Forces Special Power Act and cripple violence in Manipur. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday addressed a post-budget webinar on the Union Budget 2022 at 10 a.m. Modi addressed a webinar on a positive impact of Union Budget 2022 on water and sanitation under Har Ghar Jal. Modi reiterated the government's focus on technology and its aim to leave no citizen behind. He spoke about how provisions in the budget 2022 will help India's villages grow faster and also emphasized on the use of technology for the development of the rural sector. PM Modi said that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas are the driving force behind the government's policy and action. The webinar has witnessed participation of government officials, representatives from various ministries, institutes, consultants, domain experts, real estate developers and other stakeholders. Meanwhile, the theme of the program was based on leaving no one, no citizen behind.
आजादी के अमृत काल के लिए जो संकल्प हमने लिए हैं वो सबके प्रयास से ही सिद्ध हो सकते हैं। बजट में जो वाइब्रेंट विलेज प्रोग्राम घोषित किया गया है वो हमारे सीमावर्ती गांवों के विकास के लिए बहुत अहम है। प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स डेवलपमेंट इनिशिएटिव फॉर नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन यानी पीएम डिवाइन नॉर्थ ईस्ट में समय सीमा के भीतर विकास योजनाओं के 100% लाभ को सुनिश्चित करने में बहुत मदद करेगा।
With the delivery of the 3 Rafale aircraft on Tuesday night, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar delivered a speech at the French Institute of International Relations on how India sees France. Jaishankar, during his speech, said that in the last 2 decades, India has transformed many relationships at the global level, but India's ties with France is one that bridge multiple generations. He said India's relations with France have continued to move forward on a steady and clear course, and that it is a relationship that has been free from sudden shifts and surprises that we sometimes see in other cases. Notably, France delivered the entire consignment of 36 fighters, with the last one being handed over to India in France. It is to be mentioned that the last fighter, with all India's specific enhancements, is expected to be delivered next month. Amid the ongoing crisis between Russia and Ukraine, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday said that when the turmoil is prevailing in the world, India needs to be stronger and for difficult times. A tough leader is needed. He also added that by saying that turmoil is prevailing in the world at this time, in such a situation, it is very important for India and the entire humanity to be strong. Modi said that every vote will make India strong and every vote of the people of Suheldev's land will strengthen the country. Modi said the statement while addressing an election rally in Uttar Pradesh, Bariach. On the other hand, Prime Minister Modi also predicted the BJP's win in the UP Assembly polls. Meanwhile, 4th phase of polls in Uttar Pradesh was held on Wednesday and the counting of votes will be held on March 10.
सिर्फ बाराबंकी और अयोध्या तक ही सीमित नहीं है, बल्कि आज चौथे चरण में जहां मतदान हो रहा है, वहां के मतदाताओं को भी भारी संख्या।
Amid the tensions between Russia and Ukraine, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh on Tuesday said that the escalating tensions between Russia and Ukraine should be resolved through talks. He further said that India is in favor of maintaining international peace. At an election meeting in Uttar Pradesh, Bhalia, Singh said, as per information received, the United States President has said that they are ready to hold talks with the Russian President. He also said that it is sure if talks take place some way or the other, a solution will come about. Furthermore, when the media asked him about India's stance on the issue, he said that India always wanted peace and India has always been in favor of world peace.
जो यूक्रेन का मामला है, भारत यही चाहता है कि किसी तरीके से शांति स्थापित हो और बातचीत के द्वारा इसका समाधान निकाला जाए, यह भारत चाहता है। और अभी जो सूचना प्राप्त हुई है उसमें अमेरिका के राष्ट्रपति मिस्टर बाइडेन ने यह कहा है कि हम रूस के प्रेसिडेंट पुतिन से बातचीत करने को तैयार हैं। यदि दोनों की बातचीत होगी तो मैं तो आश्वस्त हूं कि कोई न कोई समाधान निश्चित रूप से निकलेगा। भारत का जहां तक पक्ष है, भारत शांति चाहता है। भारत सदैव से विश्व
Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has called up the country's military reservists after Russia hinted bloodshed. Zelensky said that the Ukraine government would ensure to raise the preparedness of the Ukrainian army to all possible changes in the operational situation. Meanwhile, fighting between the Ukrainian government forces and the separatists in the Donbas region of Ukraine has reportedly intensified. According to reports, the volunteers whom the Ukrainian government agencies claim that do not exist near the front lines are also preparing for a full-fledged war with Russia. Notably, Russian troops have amassed on Ukraine's southern, eastern and northern borders. Meanwhile, Russian troops have already moved into Ukraine's Donbas region after Russian President Vladimir Putin recognized independence of separatist-held Donetsk and Luhansk areas in Ukraine. And that brings us to the end of Nagaland TV English Primetime. For more news and update, keep watching Nagaland TV. I am Chipen Kung signing off.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 10 in Global Chapter, and for Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter.